Details have emerged online about a dramatic assassination attempt on Xi Jinping. During the BRICS meeting in South Africa, Xi Jinping reportedly received a confidential tip-off. It's alleged that several high-ranking officials within the Chinese military plotted to shoot down Xi's plane using missiles once it entered the southwestern airspace of China on its return journey. The orchestrator of the supposed plot is believed to be Li Yuchao, the former commander of the rocket force. Every detail, from timing to the route and location, had purportedly been meticulously planned. In response to this threat, Xi is said to have altered his flight path to directly land in Xinjiang, from where he discreetly traveled back to Beijing by train. Sources suggest that the leak came from Xie Mingsheng, Li Yuchao's secretary, who is rumored to be a covert operative planted by the National Security Bureau. According to sources on social media platforms, starting in September, Xi Jinping initiated a widespread crackdown within the Rocket Force, the Defense Ministry, and the Central Military Commission. The first wave of arrests saw over 70 individuals detained. By the early hours of September 15th, Xi Jinping deployed thousands of personnel and a fleet of trucks to the CCP's General Armament Department and the General Logistics Department, resulting in the arrest of approximately 200 more individuals. All those detained are believed to be associated with the affairs of the CCP's Minister of National Defense, Li Qiang, his predecessor Wei Fenghe, and matters pertaining to the rocket force. This is merely the beginning. Xi has issued a directive to undergo a massive overhaul of the military within just a year, determined to root out any corrupt elements, even if it means sacrificing the innocent. His guiding principle appears to be, better to mistakenly neutralize 1,000 than to let a single enemy slip away. But what if this thins the ranks of the army? The answer seems to be that Xi Jinping has an unconventional strategy at his disposal. Zhao Lanjian, a seasoned Chinese journalist and investigative reporter currently residing in the United States, recently revealed that Xi Jinping is in the process of devising a grand and sinister plan. While the specific details of the strategy remain unclear, it's confirmed that Russia's Vladimir Putin will be involved. This recent purge of top military officials is seen as a preparation for the execution of Xi's plan. It represents not only factional disputes and realignments, but also signifies a brutal political struggle dominated by ideological differences. In his early years, Zhao worked at a magazine affiliated with the National Science Commission. Thanks to this association with a prestigious national institution, he established connections with numerous magnates in the fields of finance, real estate, and the internet, as well as with a number of second-generation elites and national leaders. He has maintained good relations with some of these individuals, frequently engaging in discussions about the nation's current trajectory and political direction. His close circle often communicates with him through coded messages, relaying up-to-date domestic news. Zhao then promptly shares this information with the public, often ahead of major global media outlets by 3 or 4 days. To emphasize Xi Jinping's unwavering confidence, Zhao Lanjian created a poster featuring the assertive headlines from the People's Liberation Army Daily since August regarding the U.S. military. These headlines clearly convey the Communist Party's soaring confidence, driven by its recent tactics and its determination to best the U.S. Army. For instance, U.S. aircraft, a live target. Don't tread on me. U.S. aircraft carrier into the Yellow Sea, no significance. So what might be Xi Jinping's significant ace up his sleeve? The deployment of the secret tactic in the future will invariably involve the rocket force. Subsequent speculation among some people suggests that this mysterious strategy could involve the use of nerve agents, a tool frequently employed by Russian special service agencies. This tactic might entail dispersing the agent via rockets, resulting in widespread fatalities. Of course, this remains purely speculative. Another lingering question is, how was Xi Jinping able to so precisely identify and single out these hundreds of individuals during his purge? Explanations from overseas Chinese media suggest that Xi Jinping had a powerful ally within the military, Zhong Xiaojun. Over the past decade, Xi Jinping had woven an intricate web of spies throughout the military. From secretaries to drivers, doctors to nannies, and even those who shared a bed with others, could potentially be informants for Xi. All these covert operations were directly supervised by Zhong. Zhao revealed that by 2018 and 2019, almost 100% of entrepreneurs and media professionals held negative views about the current trajectory of Chinese politics and the direction of its societal institutions. Broadening this perspective, it seems this sentiment might pervade throughout society at large. Zhao believes that a similar pattern might also exist within the military, based on his understanding of statistical models. Thus, he surmises that the recent purges within the military are merely the beginning. He anticipates that these efforts will delve deeper, targeting not just the main factors, but also the intricate networks of people associated with them. The scale of these purges will be immense. Both the military and political elites in China are currently facing intense turbulence. Subsequent rumors emerged online, spotlighting the family of Chinese Premier Li Qiang. After devising an unconventional strategy, Xi Jinping's confidence has surged immensely. He has decided to abstain from attending any meetings that do not underscore his global leadership status or participate in diplomatic activities that the CCP cannot dominate. Instead of traveling abroad, he has chosen to remain in China, receiving leaders from around the world. In a display of China's prowess and to showcase the demeanor of a major world leader, China is even willing to deploy its own aircraft to transport these foreign dignitaries. Witnessing this, even before his strategy is fully executed, it's clear that he no longer sees the world's major powers as significant adversaries. His intent seems to be to consolidate his power base, fostering an atmosphere of fear and dictatorial governance. By the time the West realizes, it might be at a disadvantage. Though Xi Jinping exudes confidence, some of his actions bear the hallmarks of authoritarian rule, riddled with flaws and frequent leaks that reveal the truth to the public. During the Hangzhou Asian Games, 3 major fabrications attributed to Xi Jinping came to light, each one causing significant damage to his reputation. In a bid to flex China's diplomatic muscles, President Xi Jinping rolled out the red carpet for Syria's President Bashar al-Assad during the Hangzhou Asian Games. Yet there's an undercurrent of suspicion suggesting this was less about diplomacy and more about stroking Xi's ego. For starters, whispers abound that without Xi's direct order to send a special aircraft, Assad might not have even made the trip. Furthermore, given that Assad is sanctioned by the free world, this lavish treatment raises more than a few eyebrows. Now here's where it gets juicy. Rumors had it that the aircraft sent to fetch the Prime Minister of East Timor was from Xiamen Airlines, but on closer inspection, not quite. It seems Xiamen doesn't even own a jet that size. The plane was, in fact, from Air China, cunningly repainted with Xiamen's livery. Sly, right? So, how did such a confidential state affair leak to the public? Word on the street is that there's a growing unrest among old guard factions and anti-Xi groups within the Chinese Communist Party. They're spilling the beans, challenging where the money's coming from. Articles are popping up all over WeChat, accusing Xi of throwing around taxpayer money like it's party confetti. One has to wonder, does the world leader really have the audacity to flaunt public finances this recklessly? It's a dramatic tale of secrets, subterfuge, and statecraft, and the internet is eating it up, every juicy detail of it. One thing's for sure, Xi can't be too pleased about these leaks. The second grand deception, a staged hero's welcome in Hangzhou. Contrary to the lavish narrative spun in media circles, whispers in Hangzhou paint a starkly different picture of Xi Jinping's heroic reception. The streets, usually bustling with private cars and public buses, were eerily silent. Why? Draconian traffic measures forcing the masses underground into the metro system created unprecedented congestion. But the real shocker? Those jubilant crowds reportedly cheering for President Xi. Rumor has it, they weren't your average-day Hangzhou residents. No, they were planted there, likely organized and strategized to the last detail. And thanks to the age of smartphones and the internet, the veil was quickly lifted. Alert citizens captured footage pointing out familiar faces in the crowd, revealing their true identities, not just everyday people, but affiliated personnel. In a bygone era, such orchestrations might have slipped under the radar, but now, the truth is only a click away, and this story has been clicked, shared, and liked, unraveling a grand deception for the world to see. The third, and perhaps the most glaring controversy surrounding the Asian Games, focuses on the mesmerizing fireworks during the opening ceremony. From videos, viewers witnessed an awe-inspiring spectacle of fireworks crafting various shapes, words, and wonders, seemingly achieved through advanced technology, especially AI. However, this raised eyebrows. How could China, a nation that struggles to produce its own chips, stealth aircraft, or aircraft carriers, conjure the most dazzling fireworks display the world has ever seen? Rumors soon swirl on the internet, revealing a jaw-dropping truth. The fireworks were a hoax, an elaborate digital fabrication. Spectators at the actual opening ceremony didn't experience a single spark. For those glued to their television sets, it seemed China had mastered the art of fireworks, but in reality, the skies remained dark, devoid of any glittering spectacle. But why were the fireworks conspicuously absent? Whispers suggest that concerns over potential mishaps, particularly with so many explosions in the sky, led to the decision to forego the real fireworks. Amid the swirl of controversies, this revelation hit the hardest. The grand fireworks display during the Asian Games opening ceremony was nothing but an illusion. In the bustling city of Hangzhou, during the Asian Games, all eyes were fixated on President Xi Jinping's lavish and grand appearances. However, in a quiet corner of this ancient yet modern city, a once celebrated figure felt a profound sense of loss. Once dubbed the charmer of the masses and the pride of Hangzhou, this man was none other than Jack Ma. Jack Ma has a deep affection for Hangzhou. It was here that he founded the globally renowned Alibaba, bringing countless accolades to the city. He believed his fate was intricately tied to Hangzhou. With the Asian Games approaching, Ma prepared wholeheartedly, hoping to contribute to the grand event orchestrated by President Xi. The previous games were held in Indonesia. At its opening ceremony, Ma was invited by the Indonesian king to partake in the festivities. On that occasion, he announced, quote, "The next Asian Games will be hosted by my beautiful hometown, Hangzhou. On behalf of the Chinese people, I welcome you all to the next Games. It will be the most magnificent one in history." Remembering his promise, Ma was determined to return for the Games and assist President Xi in showcasing Hangzhou to the world. However, Xi Jinping seemed not to be fond of Ma, purportedly because of some unflattering remarks Ma had made about him in the past. Orders were allegedly issued to prevent Ma from attending any events during the Hangzhou Asian Games to ensure he remained out of the spotlight. From the torch relay to the opening ceremony, Ma was conspicuously absent. In a city where, if Ma claimed to be the second most influential citizen or entrepreneur, no one would dare to claim the first, his silence during the Asian Games in his own hometown was palpable. Li Qiang, the premier of the State Council, aiming to bolster the economy, approached President Xi with a suggestion. He proposed to reintegrate figures like Ma to restore confidence among Chinese entrepreneurs, urging Xi to refrain from taking any drastic actions against Ma, at least for the time being. Xi seemingly agreed. Li Qiang, through his wife, extended an invitation to Ma, asking him to return. Upon receiving this personal invitation from Premier Li's spouse, Ma decided to come back. However, current circumstances seem to indicate that Li Qiang himself might be in a precarious position, casting doubts over his ability to shield Ma. Recent rumors on social media X suggest that Chinese Premier Li Qiang's assets are estimated to range between $120 billion and $135 billion. There's speculation about his hefty investment in Ant Financial, thought to be in the ballpark of $30 billion to $75 billion. With Yun Express's assets at $57 billion and YTO Express at $60 billion, there's wonderment regarding Li Qiang's stake in these companies. If he owns 10%, that's about $12 billion. 20% would mean $24 billion. Considering Hengdian Group's assets at $12 billion, it's possible that $3 billion of that belongs to Li. DN Diagnostics, a nucleic acid company with assets of $30 billion, might have $6 billion tied to Li. Adding these figures, we reach roughly $108 billion, with other assets in Zhejiang and Jiangsu to $30 billion. A conservative estimate of Li Qiang's assets stands at $120 to $135 billion. Li Qiang's daughter, Li Ying, was controversially admitted to the architecture program at Tongji University, Shanghai, through a special channel. Shortly after her graduation in 2011, she co-founded a company named Xi Jinping Architectural Design Consultancy, Shanghai Limited, with a man named Christopher Hardy. Rumor has it that Hardy is Li Ying's spouse. With a modest registered capital of $300,000, the company appeared small but quickly landed significant projects. In 2012, through an international competition, they were awarded the design project for Ningbo Daily Group's headquarters. Speculations arose that this project was landed thanks to Li Qiang's influential position as the secretary of Zhejiang's provincial committee at the time. Later on, Li Ying and Hardy's company was acquired by Danish architectural firm SHL and subsequently became its Chinese subsidiary. Further down the line, the company was bought out by the American firm Perkins & Will. Observers noted that this transaction might be in violation of the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, FCPA. During Shanghai's lockdown, when many couldn't access basic food supplies, Li Ying allegedly utilized her father's influence to provide her company's employees with essentials like vegetables, pork, and eggs. Images on WeChat even depicted her distributing premium Tai Hu black pork. Li Bing, the chairman of NIO, had his ties with Li Qiang under public scrutiny. It is said that Li Bing got acquainted with Li Yin and her husband Chris Hardy. Subsequently, he awarded the design projects of 7 NIO stores to SHL, further fueling suspicions of possible corruption. Estimations place Li Qiang's personal fortune between 80 to 90 billion yuan, with Li Ying's company valued at less than 1 billion yuan. However, the conjecture persists that all the company's contracts were facilitated by Li Qiang's political clout. Either Li Ying had a genuine passion for architectural design, or it was merely an employment arrangement made by her father. Rumors circulate that President Xi Jinping holds a level of trust in Li Qiang, perhaps due to Li Ying being perceived as Xi's goddaughter. However, other voices argue that Xi might be wary of Li Qiang because Li Qiang's wife, Ling Huan, has close ties with the business magnate Jack Ma. Of notable importance are the women in Li Qiang's life, particularly his daughter. There's no denying Li Ying's appeal. She is said to be charming and pleasant, but with her marriage to a British national and her perceived close ties to President Xi, the dynamics get intricate. Speculations are rife that Li Ying could be an intermediary, inadvertently leaking state secrets to foreign entities. There's chatter that even if Li Qiang isn't a spy, his daughter certainly might be. However, this doesn't sit well with Xi, given that Li is considered his goddaughter. What's clear is that no one dares to challenge Xi Jinping outright. While Xi might be a powerful figure, it doesn't necessarily translate to tranquility within the political realm. With various officials clashing, Xi's personnel arrangements seem increasingly volatile, hinting at a possible storm brewing at China's political apex.